Всем привет, с вами Даша, и мы продолжаем играть в ВиллиМорганипроклятиеБоун-Тауна. И мы должны забрать вещи, чтобы получить карту. И дальше что-то еще будет. Так, давайте отнесем печать. Угу, ты печать уже отнес? Или куда ты ее дел?
Maybe now they will come in handy.
О,
Got it. It's not a chimney. It looks more like a roll with a series of engravings on it. I don't think I still need these bulky tongs.
отлично. Идем играть.
The roll should go here. Another noise. The hideout opened a little bit more. Ingenious. An alcove with sound recognition. The inventor must have been a genius. A bit better. I can just glimpse something. Maybe a piece of paper? The crack is still too narrow. I can't stick my hand inside. Better not. Let's see what happens. It doesn't do anything. Maybe I should try with some other instruments. The alcoholic content of the liquid in this flask is remarkable. It could work. Done. The flask is empty. I don't need it anymore. You just have to press the button. Let's see what happens.
No! Don't you dare! This is an order! I won't repeat it a second time!
А у нас выбора нет.
You just have to press the button. Let's see what happens. You just have to press...
Ну, как-то без разницы, если честно.
I think they can be used in a more useful way. I think this is the best possible way to use these matches. Once you used a certain kind of oil to light a fire. From the condition of the lighthouse, I'd say it's very likely there's still some left. I'm not risking burning anything, and I'm isolated from other houses. Great, but it's better to close the opening, or I'll risk that flame burning out. Good job.
Угу. От этого, правда, мне легче не стало.
It doesn't work.
А, ясно.
It could be a good idea.
Отлично.
Now I have a nice pair of cardboard eyes. Better use them only when they're strictly needed. Better use them only...
I see. When you're...
It could work. I feel ready.
Very well. I'm coming. Let's begin the test. We'll soon know if you're the chosen one or just another common person. Our menu includes mushroom chicken, algae chicken, egg chicken, spicy chicken, sweet corn chicken, pepper chicken, olive chicken, chicken and vinegar, blah blah, chicken, blah blah blah, free range, blah 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 blah, herb crusted, blah blah blah. Kid, hey kid, the test is over. I saw you fall into a trance, just like in the legend that has been passed down for generations. You're the chosen one, the one who can taste the unique and incomparable Bellamy cookie.
After the 6th plate, I felt the force flowing strong in me.
I know. The Chosen One has this power. Keep the key. With this, you'll have access to the Bellamy treasure.
Thank you. I'll put it to good use.
Окей.
Good. I don't need these cardboard eyes anymore. Since I'm the chosen one, I'm entitled to it. It's the original Bellamy cookie. Inside should still be the message from Eddie Bellamy. I can't open it. After all these years, the dough is hardened. I need something to break the cookie. Better use it with caution. I could cause serious damage. I don't think fixing my nails would improve the outcome of my visit to Bone Town.
То есть ты хочешь так использовать наковальню?
That's a good idea. This anvil gives me a perfect support. Now I have to find something with which to try to open it. That's a good idea. Only the imitation of an ancestral weapon will allow the Chosen One to perform his duty. After the impact, the hammer disappeared. Maybe it wasn't a copy of Thor's hammer, but at least the cookie broke. Inside, there is something left by Eddie Bellamy. Better take it all to not leave any trace. So I find myself with the pieces of a biscuit that dates back centuries, and a message. It doesn't seem like the classic fortune cookie message. It's a piece of the map, just like my dad said. Better add it to the others.
И что теперь с печеньем делать?
I'd rather not. I think it is the only one able to digest it. Great! I can finally rummage through its nest. A 5-cent coin. It'll surely be useful.
Окей, она пригодится, но... Зачем тебе конфеты?
$5-cent coin. Do what you gotta do. Perfect. A jelly bean.
Не будешь же ты лошади это скармливать?
No horse can resist a treat. Better put it inside the manger. A well-groomed tail. The horse's hair might also be useful, but I don't think pulling its whole tail would be a good solution.
Ясно.
Being very careful, I should be able to take what I need. Easy, horsey. You won't notice a thing. That didn't go too bad. Now I have these amazing horse hairs. I hope they come in handy.
Конечно, пригодится. Ты что, тебе только одна волосинка, так скажем,
Good
понадобится?
idea. This way, I should get a perfectly functioning bow.
Так, потихоньку все налаживается. Прохождение игры не стоит на месте.
If I remember correctly, it should be played like this. That noise again. Finally, the opening is big enough to allow access. At least for a hand. I don't need the bow anymore. Perfect. I can get my hand through. It's a piece of paper. Actually, it's a piece of kid's map. I already found the secret alcove.
Тогда зачем он тебе нужен?
I don't need it here. It should work. The photos surely have to be inserted here. Very well. A perfect plastic copy of the gun photographed in the shop. This printer model uses materials that faithfully reproduce the original objects by starting from simple photos. This replica could surely come in handy.
Отлично. Не зря зашла в паб. Так, оружейная лавка. Его до сих пор нет.
Finally, let's see if there's a clue. Hopefully it's not loaded. Very good. Inside the barrel was a piece of the map. Roger's piece. I don't feel at ease with a real weapon in my pocket. I'd rather not take it with me. But I can't get rid of it here or the owner would get suspicious. I'd better leave it somewhere outside of the store. Looks like a good spot here. Now it seems much less aggressive. I hope I don't have to compete in some strange medieval tournament.
Давай ты заберешь катапульту с собой. Она нам нужна.
There's no ammo. I need something to test. Better not do it again. The owner went to fix the damage caused by the previous shot, so I'd risk hitting him.
И снова у нас какой-то ступор. Вопрос еще, у кого ключ?
Father, was it you who screamed?
Son, even the most meek and calm man would lose his temper over this outrage.
I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Somebody dared to kickstart the devil's car.
I still don't understand.
Outside the church is a machine, a wicked machine. The kids of Bonetown used it to play. All that clamoring and laughter disturbed my concentration. It's not easy to write a 2-hour sermon, but it's necessary to maintain a straight-laced community. I instructed never to use it anymore, and it's been years since it fell quiet. But today, someone has transgressed. It'll be necessary to rely on the Holy Scripture again.
Are you planning to write a sermon about the scriptures?
Oh, no, son. This situation has to be resolved in the most drastic way. I have a task for you. You'll have to restore the order of things.
I don't think I'm the right person for it.
You're here in my presence, so you're the right person for the job. I didn't want it to come to this, but things are escalating. Take this sacred relic. It will be your mission to fix it and place it outside the church. Everything is already set up. A sacred aperture will host the word.
It seems like just a sign to me.
Young and pure of soul, it's the word that will prevent the newly started havoc from spreading any further.
But it just says, play forbidden.
Isn't that enough for you? My mind cannot suffer distractions. My sermon must be impeccable. Carry out your mission.
But the sign is broken.
Ask for help from the blacksmith right outside. Maybe he can help you.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye, son.
Ну, пошлите у кузнеца просить помощи с табличкой.
I need help. I'm on a mission from God, or rather, from the Reverend.
In this case, I can give you a second. What do you need?
The Reverend has entrusted me with a mission. I have to fix this sign. Can I take one of your tools?
I might have what you need. Inside the toolbox is a multi-purpose tool. It serves to tighten, bolt, even open some specific locks. It's the only thing I can give you for your mission. Rest I need to repair this wreck. Make good use of it.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Bye.
И чё
Be
ты?
sure to make good use of it.
As always, sir.
Хорошая вещь.
Good idea. Perfect. Now the sign has a certain stability.
И куда ты ее поставишь?
It should work. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished, Father.
Very good, son. I can sense that now the church and my concentration are protected. That hellish car won't have any power anymore.
Technically, it's not off.
It can be used again, but the word will stop it.
Okay, if you say so. Goodbye.
Goodbye, son.
Окей. Так. Теперь идем в библиотеку открывать замок.
Let's try. It works. I heard a click. Empty. It seems so strange. There's something that doesn't add up in this crate. Let's see. Just as I thought. There's a false back. I just need something to pry it open. It should work. Bingo! The nail file got stuck, but it doesn't matter. There's something a lot more precious inside. It's another piece of the map, and I think it's the teach one.
Значит, у нас осталось 2 человечка. Значит, банка с цветами надо отнести и с аттракционом как-то разобраться. Потому что кидать в звонок он почему-то не хочет.
Is it possible the solution could be so easy? It seems to have worked. I won a prize. Very nice.
Окей.
Let's see what this is about. Small Teddy, property of Rock Lafitte. Rock Lafitte? Could he be the same man from my father's letter? It would seem he was a pirate with a soft heart. It'd be better to check this plush more carefully. Just as I thought, there's something hidden inside. The very smart Mr. Lafitte hid his piece of the map the only place no one would ever look for it. Better add his part of the map to the other pieces. I don't need this plush anymore. I hope Mr. Lafitte won't be offended.
Остался только один, и его по-прежнему нет. Вопрос, где склад?
You just have to press the button. Oops. Technically, it wasn't all my fault. I just followed the Reverend's instructions to the letter.
Окей.
It's a fragment of the stained glass window. It seems to contain a piece of paper.
Hold still, son. Don't touch anything. At least until I know who did it.
All right. What happened?
Somebody, some ungodly soul guided by an evil hand, damaged the sacred stained glass windows. Have you seen any black sheep wandering in my church?
I think I saw some kids playing up front.
I thought so. Surely it was one of them. Can you describe the person?
Red-haired.
Anything else?
Very tall.
Any distinguishing marks?
He had a slingshot.
It's clear. The description matches Stanley. I'll go and resolve the situation. Nobody can disfigure the sacred church of Bonetown, shelter of the poor, symbol of faith, beacon of the community.
Окей.
I could have sworn there were some micro-inscriptions on the glass. Actually, this glass shard contains a piece of the map. Supposedly the one belonging to Reverend Drake.
Неужели он вернулся? Теперь идем к нему. Долго мы его ждали, конечно.
Perfect. Now I have everything I need. My recipe is practically done. It will be a drink that is sure to make waves in the world. Non-alcoholic, dark-colored, sparkling. It can even cure a headache.
I wouldn't want to ruin your dream, but I think that already exists. Actually, I believe you're even in danger of clashing with some mega corporations.
I know the market very well. I managed to isolate and replace the secret ingredient with another.
Really? Which one?
Well, it's the root extract of a... Oh, hey. Nice try, boy. You almost had me going there. It's the only ingredient that is not present on the list. Take it. I don't need it anymore.
Thank you. Better read it away from prying eyes. Wait a minute. This list is a bit strange. I can glimpse something under the text about the ingredients. It's a receipt. It says, I, Dr. Alfred Every, on July 15th, 2008, deliver to Steve Bonnet the artifacts found in the basement. In exchange, Mr. Bonnet transfers to the Every family, free of charge, the property of the building where the family business is actually located. The agreements will not be disclosed. Yours faithfully, Dr. Every. It's countersigned by Steve Bonnet, too. To which artifacts is Dr. Every referring? If the agreements have not been disclosed, the only one that would know anything about it is Uncle Steve. I'd better get over to his office to investigate.
Сюда. Окей.
Weird, Steve's not here. In the meantime, I could inspect his office looking for the receipt of Dr. Every. So weird. There are no notes on these papers. They're all blank. What can they do? Wait a minute. There's a button under here. I could be wrong, but they seem to have been placed in the way to hide something. There's nothing. Let's see what happens by pressing it. I wasn't expecting this. I just thought it was a drawer with some kind of mechanism.
Так, наверх.
It closed back automatically. There's probably another device in this room that makes it open. Why all this secrecy? And what's this room? Better take a look around.
А, так это он и есть, получается?
It's the hatch through which I got here. It closed back when I entered the room. From the noise I heard, the ladder must have returned to its original position as well. There's no grip to open it.
Потому что кресло тоже, телефон.
It looks like some sort of diary. It's a globe. Various lines were drawn on it. They look like sea routes. I thought it worked the same as the one in Steve's office. Instead, this is just a simple globe. There must be another way to get out of here. And what's this? It looks like some sort of diary. There's something inside. I don't think I'm mistaken. This is a piece of the map from Kid's crew. It's surely Every's, the last piece missing. Finally, the map is complete. On this piece, there are some coordinates. 47 degrees north by 78 degrees east. Brilliant! The coordinates are useless without the rest of the map. The light will guide you. 47 degrees north by 78 degrees east. It must have something to do with the old lighthouse. There's also a strange coin. Why is it here? What does Steve have to do with this story? There must be something I'm still missing. Let's see if there's an explanation in the diary.
Короче, оказался наш дядя меркантильным человеком.
I can't believe this. Steve knew. Actually, Steve is the architect of Dad's death, and all because of his envy and the longing to find Kid's treasure. To think they were so close, almost brothers. Dad really trusted him, but he should have guessed his changing, and Kid wasn't that stupid. All the pieces of the map are needed to find the treasure. I have to escape from here and unmask Steve. This diary will be the proof. Better go to the old lighthouse. The light will guide you. Let's hope that's true.
Но прежде...
What's going on?
Boss, we can't find the young Morgan anywhere. Impossible. He can't be volatilized. Continue to search. If he has his father's insight, he has surely discovered something that we've been missing till now. I'm going back to my office. This city needs a person able to guide it. All right, let's go.
It's Steve and the innkeeper. They're in collusion. I have to get out of here as soon as possible.
Сначала надо досмотреть, ты чего?
It's an old rope, but it still seems to be very sturdy. A rope is always useful.
Эти там подождут.
There are maps, routes, various notes. They represent months, or rather years, of uninterrupted work. I don't want to take all of this with me. It seems Steve is doing some research into the adventure Galley, Kid's ship. There are maps, notes, excerpts from old journals and books. There's nothing useful here.
Значит, окно.
This window faces the road under here. Better let some fresh air in.
Значит, в окно. Так. Наверное, зацепить надо чем-нибудь.
Good idea. This seems to be the only possible way out.
А не, так сойдет. Ну все, мы уже все
The road
осмотрели.
is under here. See you soon, Steve.
Так. Значит, идем на маяк.
Not now that I've been able to recover all the pieces. Okay, let's try.
Так, значит, 47-78.
Bingo! This is the point marked on the map. Let's see in what direction the lighthouse is pointing. Good!
Угу.
Very well. The lighthouse is positioned according to the instructions on the map. The light points in the direction of the cemetery. Better go check.
Все же склеп понадобился.
The map is complete. There's also the signature of the person who drew it. Tom Rayleigh. He really was a genius of cartographic design. I don't think the X meant to indicate these wooden boards. It'd be better to remove them. A weird votive sculpture. Even if we're in a cemetery, a skull, even a stone one, is always a bit scary. Once there was a legend. To access the afterlife, a boat toll was required. Maybe this coin wasn't used as currency in the earthly world, but rather to pay the ferryman for a journey to the afterlife. Let's try.
Угу. Мы катимся по туннелю и прикатились куда-то.
Where did I end up? It seems like a natural cave. It's the tunnel from which I elegantly came out. I don't want to go back now.
Правильно.
I can't believe it. This is a colony of Mexican psilocybe, one of the most powerful hallucinogenic mushrooms in the world. Professor Jones showed one of these in class when explaining Aztec rituals. Their sour odor is unmistakable, and the conditions for growth seem to be ideal. Humid and lacking sun. Only a strong adrenaline rush can counteract their effect. They're supposed to proliferate only in a few areas in Central America. How did they end up here? I'm also wondering who put these wood barrels here. It's a colony of Mexican psilocybe. The Aztecs and Mayans used them to enter a trance during certain sacred rituals. They're extremely powerful hallucinogenic mushrooms. According to some recent studies, they also have an extremely high calorific value. I'd rather not touch them. This species of mushroom is extremely dangerous. The Mexican psilocybe, even if taken in small doses, causes addiction and induces hallucinations and trance states.
Правильно делаешь, что не берешь.
It's a natural well formed by the running water. It must be very deep. The water comes from some source upstream. It's fresh water. I don't want to dive over there. I can't even see the bottom.
Так, пошлите дальше.
There's something this way. It can't be. The hull outline. The colors on the bulkheads. A red nightmare sailed on the sea. Its slender shape induced all to stop and admire it. The historian Jean de Leon described the adventure galley this way. This is it. The adventure galley. Kid's ship. The famous adventure galley. Rumors say that Kid launched raids in all the seas and that the adventure galley was the richest pirate ship around. It's the ladder that lets me get to the bridge. It's an amazing ship, and its preservation is practically perfect. I wonder how many secrets it still hides after all this time. It's an amazing ship, and its preservation is practically perfect. I wonder how many secrets it still hides after all this time. The famous adventure...
Ну, давайте подниматься.
Who dares?
But, who said that?
Who dares board my ship without permission?
Who's talking? Are you a ghost? Show yourself.
How dare you give orders to me? Only I can give orders.
Почему-то мне кажется, что это его отец.
It can't be. I can't believe this. My God. Dad, is that really you?
I have
No,
no
no.
sons. I'm the Adventure Galley's captain. My name is only whispered in both the old and new worlds. Some people call me the Scourge of the Seas. I'm William Kidd. Who are you?
Don't you recognize me? It's me, Willy!
What tone is this? Boy, remember who you're talking to. I'm Kid.
What happened to you? You're not Kid. You're Henry. Henry Morgan.
Don't you ever mention that name in my presence. Morgan and Blackbeard are the reason my crew and I are here. If it wasn't for their betrayal, right now we'd be the masters of Tortuga. Instead, Morgan and Blackbeard mutinied, hired their own crew and attacked us. But nobody can take possession of William Kidd's treasure. Remember well these two names, because they're the worst enemies of Kidd's crew. Morgan and Blackbeard. What I wouldn't give to meet you face to face. And now, speak plainly, for what reason are you here?
Isn't this the way to the Rotten Teeth?
I don't believe you're of an age for that club.
Я просто хочу все варианты посмотреть.
I sell cookware, mattresses, and bikes.
The quartermaster already stowed our supplies. We don't need anything else.
Dad, wake up!
I already told you to not call me Dad. My kids are my crew, and you don't seem to be a part of that.
Dad, Captain, I'm the new deckhand you were waiting for.
It's about time. You have permission to board and immediately get to work. The bridge needs a clean sweep. Ask the quartermaster to give you everything you need to make the ship shine. I'm going back to my cabin now. I have to plot the route for our next destination. Tortuga is waiting for us.
What's happening here? How could Dad still be alive? Why doesn't he recognize me? I better get on the galley right now. I have to get my dad back home.
Мне почему-то кажется, что на него подействовали грибы.
The ship is completely deserted. I guess Dad, or Kid as he now considers himself, is in his cabin to the stern of the ship. It's one of the galley's cannons. It's a cannon from the 17th century. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't use it. It hasn't got a wick. It's the door to the captain's cabin. Dad should be in there. If I'm not mistaken, on pirate ships, this was the cabin for illustrious guests, or for hostages of a certain status. It's an old cannon. It will be more than 300 years old, at least as old as the adventure Galley. I don't want to shoot a cannon. From here, you can access the rooms below deck.
Давайте сначала сюда зайдем.
It's a wooden mannequin. According to a chronicle of the period, these wooden mannequins were used to make the crew size appear larger. The fear factor and the number of armed men visible was usually enough to win a battle without even fighting. Somebody carved the name they gave to this mannequin in the wood. Jimbo.
Как ты его вообще засунул туда? Ну ладно. У тебя чудо-сумка, я помню уже.
I
Запомнила.
can see the cave in which the ship is docked. It would be better to use the stairs.
Но все равно удивляюсь, как у тебя хоть что-то там помещается.
It's a relatively new cannon. Probably after the last battle, Kid replaced the cannons that weren't working anymore. Better not. The ship is docked on this side. There's a risk that the shot could ricochet and cause damage. There's a second level. It's an old sword. I guess it's seen many battles. This old sword could come in handy. Maybe I can learn how to handle it. If I'm not mistaken, near my house they just opened a school. The Swordmaster. That should guarantee success. Yuck. The hilt is all sticky. Time must have corroded the handle's material. It's one of the oldest cannons on the ship. It has probably never been replaced. You can tell by the notches engraved on it. Every notch shows a battle in which it was shot. 8 notches, so 8 battles. An interesting tidbit of information. I guess it's still armed and ready to fire. When it was opened, the cannon could shoot. Why on earth should I leave through this hole? This cannon is ready to shoot. I should have a valid reason to do that. It's surely the door that leads to the hold. It's locked. Who knows for how long? I have to find the key to enter. I could ask the captain if he knows where I can find it. It's locked. If, as I suppose, this is the door to the hold, they have surely reinforced it. I obviously need the key to enter. I could ask the captain if he knows where...
Ну, пошлите. Еще у нас есть, перед тем, как зайти к капитану, еще один вход. Так скажем, помещение.
It's an old hat. I guess it belonged to some illustrious guest who lodged here. I don't know if his stay was willing or not. An old three-cornered hat. I think it belonged to some captain, or someone from the upper class anyway. Clothes from the end of the 1600s. Their fabrics are very fine. The guests of this room were treated with a certain care. Some well-preserved clothes.
То есть мы будем переодеваться, да?
These are books on dressmaking in the 1600s. Evidently, Kid cared about being up to date on the evolution of European costumes. Or some guest left them during his holiday on the adventure Galley. It doesn't strike me as the best time to start reading treatises on 17th century fashion. Some boards became ruined over time, creating a crack that shows the cabin below. It should be the captain's cabin. Don Quixote de la Mancha. It's one of the first editions. I can't take it. Life on the Seas, Rules and Tasks on Board a Ship by William Kidd. It seems Kidd was writing a treatise. Interesting. I can't reach it. They look like nautical charts, probably routes of the adventure Galley. I can't take them. Dad looks busy. He completely got into the role. Dad is seated at the captain's desk. There's a strange smell coming from the cabin.
Больше там ничего нет.
It looks like a voodoo doll. Some prankster guest of Kid must have left it here after his stay. Better not touch it. I wouldn't want its curse to remain active on some descendant of the represented person.
Ну не бери.
I have to find a better use for them. I have to find a better...
Ясно.
I'd only risk ruining it this way. I have to find a better use for them.
В смысле? Ну, пошлите к нему, зайдем.
What's happening now? I hope it's something important.
There are rats inside the magazine.
That's the reason you've been brought on, Deckhand. Try to earn your daily rations. Anything else?
Someone stole the last barrel of grog.
What? This is really serious. But the quartermaster can take care of it. Anyway, no less than 100 lashes with the cat o' nine tails for the guilty party. Stealing the grog. The nerve. Anything else?
Captain, can you tell me your story?
Is this the reason you embarked?
I hoped to understand how you ended up here, Dad.
I have no time to get angry now. Go back to your duties. You can hear my story from the other members of the crew.
I'll need the key to access the hold.
You still aren't an official member of the crew. You must earn this honor. Every new member must get to know the ship and gain the trust of the rest of the crew.
I think I already saw everything and talked with everyone.
Let's see if this is true of you. Answer these 3 simple questions. First, name at least one member of the crew, except the captain, that you met on board.
Jimbo.
Second question. According to which code have the rules of life on board been drafted?
Life on the Seas by Kid.
Third and last question. How many battles have we faced until today?
8.
Well done. You have the honor of becoming one of Kid's pirates. Among us, there's a pact of mutual friendship and loyalty. You deserve the key to access the hold.
Окей.
Thanks, Captain. I'm honored to be part of your crew. Sorry, Captain. I'll leave you to your business.
Good. Go back to your duties, Deckhand.
Не зря же мы все прежде чем куда нам надо идти, все осматриваю. Так. Пошлите открывать трюм.
Perfect. Wow! The legends were true. This is the result of years of piracy in all the seas of the world. It probably contains vanilla or cardamom. They were worth a lot of money on the European market. It surely contained some spices. They were very precious goods. I don't need it now. Coffee beans. Kid and his crew knew their value very well. I'm not interested in taking these coffee beans. I'm already wide awake, especially after finding my dad. Doubloons and other coins. Surely the bounty from a raid of some ship headed from the Americas to Europe. They all have to be dated and cataloged, even if I'd like to dive into it, like in the comic books. Crates and coffers. They will surely be full of jewels and gold. They will surely be full of doubloons or jewels, but now I have other priorities. Coins and jewels of various kinds. There are also vases with sublime finishes. The temptation to examine or take some of those coins is strong, but Dad takes precedence over everything. First, I have to take care of him, and then together we'll study the galley and its treasure.
Так, и маска.
A golden mask. It seems of European origin. It's a mask. It doesn't seem to come from the Americas. I think it's the loot plundered from the assault on some ship coming from Europe.
В принципе, мы можем манекен надеть.
It won't be useful like this.
Правда, для чего нам?
It won't be useful like this. It won't be...
Вопрос хороший.
This old mannequin was used to deceive the enemy. The more mannequins there were, the larger and more dangerous the crew seemed. I could use it to distract my dad and enter his cabin. If I could disguise it as a pirate, I could make it pass for one of Kid's most bitter enemies. If I'm not mistaken, he named Morgan and Blackbeard earlier. I really see it as a Morgan. This gives it an aura of mystery. They seem the right size. I don't think there was much variety of measurements on a pirate ship. It's starting to look like a member of the crew. A classy touch. The hat makes it look more important. Let's try to make it meaner. Discreetly threatening.
Ну, вроде все.
What's happening now? I hope it's something important.
Captain, there's Morgan on the bridge.
Morgan. Damn scoundrel. You finally came back for the final showdown. It's really you, foul traitor. What nerve you dare show. By returning to the ship you turned your back on after it welcomed you as a child. Prepare yourself to face my wrath.
While Dad is busy, I can access the captain's cabin.
You won't get far. You have nowhere to go.
Серьезно?
Destiny made us meet again.
Ладно.
It's the chalice from which I saw Dad drink. From the pungent smell, I'd say he put in some of the mushrooms I saw in the cave. Dad has placed the logbook to protect the chalice's contents. Since I'm here, I better take them both. The same acrid smell of the mushrooms I saw in the cave emanates from the chalice. This could explain many things. Dad managed to survive all these years on a mixture of water and mushrooms. Even in small quantities, they sustain any organism that feeds on them and provide vital energy. On the other hand, they're also a powerful hallucinogen. Dad's state of shock following his fall from the cliffs, combined with the sight of Kid's ship, made him believe that he was the captain. If he keeps drinking from this chalice, he might never wake up. I have to get rid of this chalice. Professor Jones taught us that a strong adrenaline rush will counteract the mushroom's effect. First the chalice and then the adrenaline. One thing at a time. Kid, the sea dragon. The adventure galley was equipped with extraordinary weapons, which is the reason it became legendary. It's the statue of a dragon. It was also Kid's nickname. Other than Scourge of the Seas, he was known as the Sea Dragon for the firepower of his cannons. Better leave it where it is. I don't need it to get Dad out of here. The galley's nautical charts. With these, it'll be possible to reconstruct the history of the ship, follow the routes it traveled, and identify the ships and cities it pillaged. These are the nautical charts of the galley. They will be worth a fortune. With these, it would be possible to retrace the ship's routes and identify the places it visited. I can't deal with this right now. It's more urgent that I find a way to get out of here with Dad. It's the statue of a dragon. It was also Kid's nickname. Other than Scourge, better leave...
Окей, вроде все.
It's time to end the game. Don't show your face again, Morgan.
Look who's back. Henry and his kid, the young Morgan.
How did you manage to get here, Steve?
It wasn't difficult. I was looking for you all over town, and suddenly, what a stroke of luck. I saw you entering the crypt in the graveyard. I waited for you a long time. Eventually, I decided to enter and I saw the tunnel. Henry, I didn't think you were still alive. I am partly relieved. My regret was consuming me. In the end, you were right. Kid's ship was docked here in Bone-Town.
How dare you come aboard my ship without permission and offend a member of my crew? Who are you?
Henry, don't you recognize me? It's me.
Dad! Captain! It's Blackbeard. He was also able to get on board.
Blackbeard. Yes, I recognize you now. I see that you and Morgan are still inseparable. You'll end up just like him.
Henry, not again.
You leave me no choice.
I understand, Henry. I'm ready.
On guard.
Whatever you want, Henry.
Давайте их немного взбудоражим, может. Правда, надо куда-то вылить. Вопрос куда? Есть решение. В пушку и все.
It's not a cannonball, so it won't have such a devastating effect. And now the coup de grace. Fire! I did it! Heck, I didn't see that coming. The racket from the cannon was more devastating than the shell itself. Better go back on deck and alert Dad.
Идем предупреждать.
You don't stand a chance this time.
We'll see. I admit it. You defeated me, Henry.
A victory over a man who was once a friend has no value for me.
Captain, I'm sorry to interrupt your duel, but I think we need to go. The cave is collapsing.
Captain, what are you talking about?
The adrenaline caused by the duels with Jimbo and Steve is reducing the effect of the mushrooms. Hurry, let's go. There's not much time.
Not before seeing the treasure. I've never been so close to it, and I have no intention of leaving now.
But Steve, not now. There will be other opportunities in the future.
Yes, Steve. The kid's right. Let's run while we still can.
Henry, do you recognize me?
Steve, is that you? Oh, I'm not sure what's happening. It feels like I just woke up from a long dream.
There's no time, Dad. Let's go.
Dad? How come? Who?
You go. I want Kid's treasure. It represents my whole life's work. Henry, just know that I didn't want any of this to happen.
Steve!
Farewell.
Dad, let's go.
Okay, I'll follow.
Но ты там все равно не выживешь, чел. Надо было убегать.
Dad, I finally found you.
Willy, is that really you? How long has it been?
10 years, Dad. 10 very long years.
10 years. So, this means you received my letter.
Yes, but why did you only have it delivered after all this time?
I sensed that something was wrong with Steve. I could see it in his behavior. When I realized that the search for Kid's treasure was becoming an obsession, I started to suspect that he could hurt our family. I hid my piece of the map and decided to deal with him. You are a Morgan. You have the spirit of adventure in your blood. But you were only 5, and I didn't want to trouble Mom with such a burden. I hoped that in 10 years Steve's obsession would vanish. I decided that if anything ever happened to me, you, after turning the necessary age, would be ready to pick up from where I left off. So I sent the post-dated letter.
I read Steve's diary. I know you fell off the cliff. How did you survive?
A stroke of luck. I fell right into the sea, and the tide pushed me toward an underwater passage that led directly to the cave. I wanted to find a way to get back to the surface, but I had to recover my strength first. The last thing I remember is some really delightful mushrooms. Then, it's all a blank.
Dad, let's go back home. We have a lot of things to talk about. Plus, we have to find a way to tell Mom without making her faint.
Elizabeth, yes, we should go back.
Я так понимаю, это уже почти.
Ready to leave Bonetown once and for all?
Bonetown is not a bad town. As soon as the legal formalities are arranged, we could think about coming back here. Remember, deep inside the cave is still the adventure Galley. Who knows how much it can still tell the world about the golden age of piracy.
Speaking of which, when I took the chalice, I also brought the ship's logbook with me. Here it is.
Финал. Ну вот и конец. Небольшая игра получилась, конечно. Коротенькая всего. Ну, вроде 4 серии получилось. Ну вот. Я думала, будет квест, ну, опять-таки, на 9 серий где-то. Получилось небольшой квестик. Неплохая игрушка. Загадки, в принципе, несложные. На этом все. Других игр пока у меня вроде как нет. Но у меня есть идеи. Ну вот будем продолжать играть в Ассасина. Возможно, мы уже продолжаем. Я все вот 4 серии, которые были, все за раз прошла. Вот. На этом все. Ссылка на плейлист с группы ВК в описании. Всем пока.